Hello everyone, it's Joshua Barber, and if you've been paying attention to this channel, you've probably noticed that I've been doing a number of things to try to update the production quality on my different videos on this channel. I bought an AV to HDMI upscaler for my old consoles. I bought an HDMI capture box for my new consoles, and I bought a PC to TV device to capture video off of my 486. This does, however, leave my component cable consoles, my PlayStation 2, my Xbox, and my PlayStation Portable in the dust. What do I use to record those? Well, I've got an old Hog, but it's always had problems. It's got a heating issue, ventilation issue, and the sound is frequently out of sync. Also, I would love to be able to record these consoles in high definition without resorting to just using Sony Vegas to upscale a 640 by 480 image. My first attempt to do this was an upscaler that I bought on Amazon. The upscaler itself worked just fine, but it did not work with my HDMI capture box. I'm not entirely sure why, but then I took a trip to Fry's and I was looking through all their devices. I found another component to HDMI upscaler. This one only does 720p, where the original did 1080p. But that's kind of a minor deal if the thing works and I get the peace of mind of it working. This is the device that I bought, and it cost me $70, and you'll notice that it doesn't even have a brand name anywhere on it. That's kind of weird, right? Does that mean that this is going to be lower quality, or does that mean absolutely nothing? Let's take a closer look. Okay, let's take a look at this device. The front is very simple. All you've got are three lights. You've got a power light, a VGA light, and a component light. Only two of these will be lit up at a time because it will light up the VGA or the component depending upon which mode you're using. And it's not as simple as just plugging one in or the other and having it switch automatically, but I'll get to that in just a second. Let's take a look at the back. On the back, you've got all kinds of ports on here. You've got your standard component in ports, you've got your VGA port, and you've got your HDMI out port. Right here you've got your VGA and component switch. You switch back and forth between them depending upon which one you want to use. What about audio, I hear you asking? Well, this might be a little bit of a drawback for some of you. The only audio we've got here are the standard 3.5mm headphone jack for audio in. So what does this come with? Well, the only cord it comes with is this power cable. You plug it into the back here where the power goes in. And it's really as simple as that. You just plug it into the wall. Now for audio, I'd recommend getting a 3.5mm jack to standard RCA audio Y connector and just putting a couple of barrel connectors on the end of that. Plug that into the stereo in, and you can plug your stereo into the other end of this. Now I have here a component cable that I use for recording my PlayStation 2. It also has hookups for the Xbox 360 and the Wii, but that's not what I focus on with this. I use this for the PlayStation 2. Of course, you take your video cables and plug them in the color-coded slots. Very easy to do. And then plug the audio cables into your Y connector or the barrel connectors. And it's as simple as that. The other end here goes to your console. And you've only got one cable left, and it does not come with an HDMI cable either, so be aware of that. You plug your HDMI out here, and then this other end goes to your television. And it's really as simple as that. You just turn this on, switch it to VGA or component depending upon which you're using, and plug it into your TV or your capture device, and it outputs a signal in 720p. That might be another drawback for some people, as it does not do 1080p. But the 720p signal, in my opinion, is gorgeous. Let's take a closer look at some gameplay that I recorded with it.
The second that it switches over to the component audio, you will notice that it is immediately out of sync. This is a consistent problem that I've always had with the Hog, and I've never been exactly sure how to fix it.
Typical. feasting on blood. You're turning into a vampire.
The war is over. The Dark Walks will be destroyed. You're only delaying the inevitable.
If you ever played a PlayStation Portable on a television, you know that it does not take up the entire screen. For the purposes of this video, I have cropped out the dead space around the picture and just left the video feed.
Enemies jumping down! It's clear now. Let's go!
Streets are crawling. Come on, let's move.
On my way! How badly are you hurt?
So, what do I think of this device? Well, I like it a lot. I think the footage that it outputs is absolutely gorgeous. There are drawbacks, of course. It only puts out in 720p, and it's got the audio jack on the back here instead of standard RCA audio. It also doesn't have any options for better audio, such as digital optical. If that bothers you, this may not be the device for you, but if you're looking for improved video quality and pretty good audio quality, this is a great option. I quite like it. I think the video that it captures is gorgeous. I think it upscales really well. It does, however, take a 640 by 480 image, such as the PlayStation 2, and output it in widescreen, so it's going to elongate some. If that bothers you as well, this is also not the device for you. It doesn't do 1080p or 720p in full screen. However, for what it does do, I think this is a great and cost-effective option for outputting your old consoles on modern television. It certainly beats just plugging in your old PlayStation 2 with standard component cables, because if you have any experience with the PlayStation 2, even with component cables, the output on that really isn't all that great. Having a proper upscaler that will put out the image in high definition will add quite a bit of image clarity, and it also helps a little bit with the colors, although you don't see as much of a big jump going from component to HDMI as you do from composite to HDMI, because component looked pretty darn sharp to begin with. It's got a much better depth of color than composite ever did, and it's capable of much higher resolutions than composite ever was. It's also got a much sharper image. So you're going from pretty decent to great is what you're doing with this, and I like it a lot. I would highly recommend picking one of these kinds of things up if you've got an older console and are on something of a budget like I am. Thank you everybody for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe down below. It will be greatly appreciated. We will talk to you guys next time. Thanks everybody, and goodbye.